Red Stripe, Premier League. I miss one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red Stripe alone champion boy go. Pan up pour them a singing anthem. Red Stripe, watcha. Man shall I better forward boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run the marathon boy. Them wish I never made it that the champion boy fan. Now man I done a songsters boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy.
It's lights, camera, and action for the rebirth of the Red Stripe Premier League football action on Mondays on the home of champions. We're in Kingston at the Jerusalem Stadium to watch Waterhouse, the current leaders and two-time champions, up against sixth-place Cavalier in a battle that the fans are expected to enjoy here at a complex that has enjoyed tremendous battles over the years between these two teams. So it's Cavalier visiting the Waterhouse team. As we said, Waterhouse leaders at the moment, best team in the league at the moment in attack and in defense. They're on top of their game at the moment. And what a way, George Davis, for us to return to Red Stripe Premier League football on Mondays, a battle between two teams that have always given us good, exciting football and goals.
Yeah, guaranteed goals this fixture does. Look, the RSPL is like that young wife who left the household lands because she felt that, you know, she could have done better. She went to seek after better. Better was not forthcoming, and she's returned into the open arms of her husband, who says, honey, you should never have left. It's good to have repaired this relationship. The RSPL is back where it belongs, and we hope to undo the difficulties of the early weeks of this campaign and again lay out a world-class product for the excitement and the enjoyment of the fans and stakeholders concerned.
That's for sure. This is a 9th round fixture. We have had 4 of the games already. This is game 5. Game 6 will be played later on this week. But we've had a lot of happenings in Red Stripe Premier League football since we last saw you on screen back in April when we covered the final. A couple of the stories: Montego Bay United and Reno, of course, relegated. Malines and Veer, two teams up to the top flight.
Yeah, Malines flying. You must congratulate them for the start. They made a blistering start to the campaign, have given themselves some cushion for the tough weeks that have come ahead. Perhaps the tough weeks have come early because they've dropped points in their last 2 games. And those aren't the only changes, because there are coaching changes as well. Some ever-presents not present anymore. Jerome Waite is a part of the furniture where Red Stripe Premier League football is concerned. He's no longer at Arnott Gardens. Shavar Thomas, the back-to-back title-winning coach, has left Portmore United, gone to the Turks and Caicos Islands. Donovan Ducky no longer leading the project at Mount Pleasant, and Andrew Price, who is like the bread to Boys Town's butter at various levels of football in Jamaica, no longer at Boys Town. He's gone to Central Jamaica, Clarendon to be precise, to take charge of Mike Henry's humble land.
That's right, and that Veer team that we spoke of, it's actually the Jamalco team that played 3 seasons ago. They now have a name change, problems for them. Well, Jamalco were relegated 3 seasons ago, and Veer at the moment in the relegation zone.
Yeah, it's almost a case of deja vu. Maybe their project wasn't expected to have fallen off the rails so early, but guess what? It's a very long campaign. It's 33 games. You can't, well, if you're going to make mistakes, it's the first round. Yeah. Usually teams use the first round to fine-tune, and there are going to be a lot of difficulties. So don't pay too much attention. If you're in the second round and you're faltering, it's time to panic.
Yeah, that's for sure, because that's when you're getting to the halfway stage. So Malines and Veer, the 2 new teams up in the top flight, winning the qualifying series this past summer with Wadada, the former Premier League champions, finishing 3rd in those playoffs. Sunday's results: Dunbeholden, second time in the season, second time performers. Dunbeholden 1-0 over UWI. Humberland getting a 2-1 victory over Malines, second straight loss for Malines, who had gone 6 wins in a row. Veer 1-1 with Arnott Gardens, and Harbourview getting a result against Tivoli Gardens.
Yeah, Tivoli Gardens have had a very, very ordinary start to the campaign. Harbourview have also been hot and cold, but they would have loved those 3 points on Sunday. This means rather that the table looks like this with 2 games to go in the round. Firehouse on top on 19 points. They have a plus 13 goal difference, Lance, because they've scored a lot of goals so far this campaign. The top 6 completed by Malines, Harbourview, Humberland, Arnott Gardens, and the Cavalier in that order. Mount Pleasant on the coattails of those in the top 6, Dunbeholden. But look where Portmore United is. Yes, you can have a soft start, but after 8 games, Portmore United has no business being with the chaff in the league.
I guess they're like Manchester United, George.
Manchester United are 7th, so they're better off than Portmore United.
They weren't 7th a week ago, George, but go ahead.
Well, they are 7th now. The UWI are rooted to the bottom of the league, and that's a surprise for me, because the sounds I was hearing out of the UWI camp in pre-season land suggested that they had a squad that could fight. And yeah, it's not a fighting squad so far. It's a pussycat squad so far this season for the UWI.
Problems there for UWI and fair bottom of the table. Waterhouse and Cavalier met 5 times last year. We're looking there at the last 2 results they had, with Waterhouse winning both of them. Those were the semi-final playoffs. There were 2 Cavalier wins earlier on in the season and a draw as well. Problem for Cavalier last year is that the 2 times they decided or accepted the...
And so, look, you can forget about those games. If you go by the regular season form, the main thing for this fixture, where the neutrals are concerned, is that this fixture gives goals. People watch football to see goals being scored, and I'm pretty certain that they're going to be goals tonight.
Yeah, I would think so as well. Pretty cool night here as the Waterhouse fans are filing in to watch their team on show. Presently, the #1 team statistically in attack, #1 team statistically in defense. They would have to be favorites tonight.
Yeah, look, if they win, they go further atop the table. They're there on goal difference. But it's solid. Very impressed with how Marcel Gale had this team clicking like clockwork last season, and they brought last season's form into the campaign, and it helps significantly, Lance, that they started their season so early, and they have that chemistry between them among the boys and among the various units on the field that most teams are still groping for.
That's absolutely correct, and they did have the benefit of having CONCACAF Champions League matches in August and September, so they had to be sharp for those, so it ran straight into the Premier League. They're undefeated at home at Jerusalem here, this Waterhouse team. Cavalier, they're the visiting team. They have been known to come to Jerusalem here and win over Waterhouse, so they know how to get that done. But they'll have to be solid, and they'll have to execute well tonight.
Yeah, Cavalier known for the transition, the speed in transition. When you lose that ball, then the Cavalier players attack, whether it's Marshall picking up the dribble, or Chevron Messi Marsh, or Nicholas Hamilton. They are fast as bats, those boys, and their use of the football in those transitions, very, very, very awesome indeed. And that is what they've used to undo teams in the past. Mind you, they're not as sharp at this stage of the season as they were at this stage of the season last year or even the year before, because they started their campaign late and the fitness was an issue. And of course, with the dislocation of so many players being lost to overseas clubs and new players coming in, it takes a while for that to bed in. But I'm telling you, this Cavalier team, by the time they find their best stride, when I find my best voice, Lance, they'll be flying.
Yeah, that's for sure. And conversely, as you talk about the start that Cavalier have had, Waterhouse have had a completely different start from what we've seen in the past couple of years. Remember, 2 years ago, they were winless in their first 6 matches, including a 5-0 loss to Portmore, which cost their coach the job, Admiral Bailey. And then last year, they were not that impressive either. I think they'd been pretty much the same position that they are. They had, I think, 10 points after 8 matches last year, and certainly not the sort of form they have shown here at the start of this season.
Let me steal some time as we go to the promos. Teams always, well, some teams get a purple patch. This is Waterhouse's purple patch. This is the third season of a very good period in the club's recent history. They must deliver a championship now, because it's not going to be this good forever. Yeah,
that's for sure. So Waterhouse beaten finalists last year, beaten finalists the year before. The fans are expecting another run at the championship, and this time they're not expected to falter. This is Sportsmax, the home of champions. Lots of global, international, top quality sports on the channel.
Yeah, the NBA is on Sportsmax, on your home of champions. The Hawks and the Heat battle Thursday, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time on Sportsmax. And then the Mavericks and the Nuggets. This could be a good mashup. 8:30 p.m., 9:30 p.m. ECT on Sportsmax, Eastern Caribbean time, I remind you. Then Spain's La Liga, Espanyol at home to Valencia, live Saturday, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Eastern Caribbean time. That's Sportsmax 2. And then Barcelona and Levante, 10 a.m., 11 a.m. ECT, Sportsmax 2. That's a live game. What about the UEFA Champions League, Lance?
Well, the Real Madrid team will be in action. The former champions, they'll be at home to Galatasaray. That's on Wednesday, the 6th of November. That's a 2:45 kickoff, 3:45 Eastern Caribbean time. So UEFA Champions League action among the proliferation of high-quality sports coming up on the home of champions in the coming weeks. Tonight, though, the start of the 2019-2020 Red Stripe Premier League coverage on Sportsmax, the home of the champions. Portmore are the defending champions. They have a midweek match later on this week because they were idle this weekend. They actually traveled Portmore to the USA for a friendly international. So the Waterhouse team, there's big Sean Laws, central defender, warming up with his team as we are getting close to the kickoff. Waterhouse against Cavalier at Jerusalem on Sportsmax, the home of champions.
It's good to be back.
Moderate temperatures here at the Jerusalem Stadium in St. Andrew, Jamaica for Red Stripe football Mondays tonight. 28 degrees Celsius at the moment. Not much chance of rain, fairly humid, and just a slight wind here under the night skies. Waterhouse, the home team, founded in 1968. They were runners-up last year, runners-up the year before as well. Twice champions back in 1998 and 2006. So they have gone 12, 13 years now without a title, and their fans are getting impatient.
Yeah, I was reminiscing with a long-standing fan earlier, Lance, about that 1998 team. Damian Powell, Leo Horton, Hugh Bingy Blair, Kevin Lamy. So many outstanding players who really made this team what it is.
There's Stephen Williams. He's currently the leading scorer for this Waterhouse team with 5 goals. Already doubled the number of goals he got last year, so he is fit and injury-free this year and looking to have a solid season. Actually a Premier League winner with Portmore back in 2012.
Yeah, used sparingly at times last season by Waterhouse. Good to see him taking a leading role where goal scoring is concerned. And you suspect a lot will depend on him this season to get Waterhouse those goals.
Yeah, Kenroy Howell, solid player, very, very skillful, and a good goal scorer as well. Howell was bettered only by Tremaine Stewart among the top scorers for Waterhouse last year. Good dribbling skills. And Damian Gordon, the assistant coach of Waterhouse, spoke to George Davis before match time.
Coach, you are top of the league. You are scoring plenty goals. Everything seems to be going right for Waterhouse right now, but Cavalier always give you a good game on your home patch. What are your expectations?
The expectation is pretty much the same. We're at home. We expect to play positive football. As you know, we haven't lost any game here since season, so we expect to keep that up.
Cavalier, as I noted, always play well here. They always get goals here. Any particular plan to ensure that you start with a clean sheet?
Obviously, this season we don't concede a lot this season. Haven't been except the last game where we conceded 3 goals. But all in all, we have been good, comfortable at the back. Tonight we have Chambers in goal, national invitee, so we expect his strength as well.
You have started, you started the season a long time ago, so it's been a long campaign for Waterhouse. Does that bring fatigue into play, or it just means that the players are far advanced in terms of their chemistry than other units in this RSPL?
Yes, I would agree with that in terms of the chemistry, because this bunch have been playing for some time now. And yes, we have started the season a little bit earlier than some other teams, so the chemistry is there and it is flowing. So hence the reason why we expect a positive result tonight.
Over the course of the season, well, it's a long season, so you have to set small targets, milestones. In terms of what the immediate target is for the next few games, what is it that the Waterhouse team has in mind?
To be honest, the target is the next game, and this is the next game, so we have to focus on that as a unit and as a club. So we want to stray a little bit further from the 3 points, and that is tonight.
We saw Stephen Williams in previous seasons playing as a midfielder, providing goals for strikers. Now he's the main man. What accounts for his transformation? How is the team playing to his strengths so far this season?
The team has been backing him, to tell you the truth. Even though some games he's off, but the team is behind him. So we expect that tonight as well. And he's a good player. He's expressing himself, obviously, up front. And so we encourage that as a unit. So we expect him to do well tonight as well.
Final question. 2 near misses for you in recent seasons. Is this the year when Waterhouse breaks the drought, you think?
I think so. Liverpool went to the last Champions League final. They lost that. And even the coach, club, he has been losing finals. So you have to keep going and going and going until eventually you succeed. And we expect to do that this year.
Damian Gordon there, assistant coach at the Waterhouse team. They're up against the Cavalier team that has provided huge competition for them in the recent past. Only 1 title for Cavalier in their history. That was way back in 1981. They reached the playoffs twice in the past 2 years, so this is a good building team. Yeah,
Chevron Marsh is their heartbeat. He's the creative spark in this team. Excellent running with the ball. A player who attracted national attention some seasons ago, but has gone off the boil, so to speak. Still very dangerous at this Premier League level, and on the transition, he's usually the one who first gets that pass when the Cavalier are in transition, and when he sets off running, has the ability to go all the way, beating his men, the men in his path, or he can bring his teammates into play. Very, very dangerous, and he dovetails so well with Alex Marshall, the former St. George's College striker.
That's right, 21 years old now, and he was the leading scorer for the Cavalier team last year with 11 goals, and he is looking to have a good night here, along with his attacking partners Marsh and Hamilton, whose speed expects a lot from.
We have MAHM tonight. You know, 3 of them is getting back into some form and some form of fitness. So we love to play at Waterhouse. So we're always happy when they come here, and maybe that's the reason.
They are flying though. They've scored so many goals so far in this campaign. They started early, so their chemistry is right. You're not fearing them though, I don't think.
Not at all. I can't say we're at our best, but with those 3 attacking players that we have, and I think we're still the best transition attacking team in Jamaica, we always have a chance.
I remember speaking to you on the sidelines maybe about 2 weeks into the new season, and you said you needed about 3 more weeks to get to optimum fitness. Are you there yet?
Not there yet, because injuries have plagued us, but I think we're slowly getting there. In the last 2 games we have played 2 of the better teams, the Leader and Mount Pleasant, and we have done very well. We haven't been defeated over those 2 games, so we expect that positive to continue.
Your defending is not usually what it would be at this stage of the season, but perhaps that can be accounted for in the general low level of fitness that the team started the campaign with. What plans have you put in place to ensure that defensively you get tighter?
Oh, definitely. Our best defender, Kama, is back. He's not up to full fitness, but we have him in the back line. And I must say that this is one of the occasions we're up to 17 players today. Usually we have 15 or 16. So we're getting there slowly. We're back to our full contingent almost. And that gives me a lot of options to choose from, different from when we just have a handful of players.
You've been credited for having young, progressive players. These players are a season older, a season wiser. Do you think, well, let me ask it this way, how will that manifest in their play individually and collectively, you think, this greater level of experience at this level?
No, actually, our team is much more inexperienced this year. We only have 4 players who have played for the club more than 2 years, or who have played Premier League more than 2 years. So all the players have played either last year or this year. And we're just waiting on the Manning Cup and the Costa Cup to finish to carry in another 7 players. So the truth is we are still young, but that's our story. We believe in giving young players a chance, and we'll continue to do so. When it comes for the stretch drive in January, we'll think about trying to win the cup, but up until, say, the end of January, we'll still be looking at the best combinations, looking at the best players, and giving youngsters a chance to rack up some minutes.
The educated critics, Rudolph, say Cavalier plays well, but at the business end of the season, they often seem a little bit jaded at that time. If you take that criticism on, do you think that you'll be able to fix that this term?
Well, actually, the last season, I thought the last semi-finals is my fault totally. I blame nobody except myself. I miscalculated what I was up against, and then the game didn't go for us. So I take full blame. And yes, I'm a very competitive person, even with my demeanor. So don't be fooled. I will be looking at it, and we'll come back harder this time.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing and tento. Red stripe, watch out. Man shall I make a forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run him all again boy. The Red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah yo. Now man I don't a songsters boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy.
Live at the Jerusalem Stadium here for Red Stripe Football Mondays. We are at the Waterhouse home ground. They are getting ready to battle Cavalier, who are 6th in the table at the moment. Waterhouse, the #1 team in the land at the moment, after finishing runners-up last year and runners-up the year before. They're twice champions, this Waterhouse team, but no titles since 2006. Their first coming in 1998. Cavalier were champions way back in 1981, when I was but a teenager. Cavalier looking to put their hands on the championship once more.
Yeah, what about some panelists? What are they saying about this game tonight? Let's hear it.
Hello, good night. This is my agent Buckley. The Korea got product tonight at 3-1. Last week, we get beaten last week by Mount Pleasant, and Mount Pleasant beat Cavalier, so we are going to dominate it tonight and do a thing. Yeah, them are your talk straight.
Good night. My name is Jeremy. I've been supporting Cavaliers for about 4 seasons now. I'm the chef of Cavaliers. Yeah, and the prediction tonight is 3-1 Cavaliers. Yeah, I'll just come at Waterhouse and get a good game. So I predict the same tonight. 3-1 Cavaliers.
My name is Arthur Chazu. Yeah. Support Waterhouse for the past 40 years. You understand? Yeah. Tonight game, I hope to win by 3-0. Yeah. Why? Why? Because we beat them in a stadium 3-0. Yeah. And we are doing it again tonight. Alright,
cool. You're right. It was a 3-0 on aggregate, 2-0 and 1-0. So they did beat them 3-0. Waterhouse over Cavalier. The teams are getting ready to take the field, and there are some fans in the stands getting ready to watch what we expect to be a good, competitive, exciting match tonight. That's the kind of fixture we normally get when Cavalier take on Waterhouse here at Jerusalem.
Yeah, let me talk about the surface though, Lance, because that's going to be very important. And part of the reason why this fixture guarantees goals, especially here at Jerusalem, is because of the quality of the surface. These are two ball-playing teams. Cavalier, deadly on the transition. And when you pick up that ball in the counter-attack and you're running forward as the ball carrier, you want to know that you don't have to worry about the ball bobbling all over. And Cavalier have the benefit of that, which is why they love to come here to Waterhouse, even when other teams are daunted by the support when the stadium is full. Cavalier love playing here because the surface is good. And guess what, Lance? The home team love it as well because they have their own ball handlers in their 11.
Yeah, quite a few of them, in fact. O'Shea Nation will be the man with a whistle tonight. Waterhouse in their yellow and blue, and Cavalier in their predominantly white outfit. The last 11 meetings for these two teams has seen Cavalier winning 3, Waterhouse winning 3, and 5 drawn results. So you couldn't get a more even matchup than. So the players have their game faces on, and Siobhan Marsh, the Cavalier captain, leading the introductions at the moment. First to the officials. There's Nicholas Hamilton, Rankin, Kyle Ming. One of the teenagers on the field tonight, Kyle Ming, a former Bridgeport standout captain and central defender. And here's your Waterhouse team now meeting the match officials. So these two teams, George, know what each other has to offer. We spoke continuously about the transition game that the Cavalier team displays, sometimes unstoppable. Waterhouse will have to guard against that tonight.
Oh yes, Cavalier have pace to burn, and in the form of Siobhan Marsh and Nicholas Hamilton, these guys are live wires, and defenders in one-on-one situations with them are always worried because they have so much pace, and they're very good dribblers, especially Marsh. As we said, Marsh invited to the national setup about 3 seasons ago, but not the same player, it would seem, from that perspective, as one that catches the eye of the national selection. But if he had that potential in the first place, it is an indicator of his quality, and he's been a good player at Premier League level, to be fair.
There's the Waterhouse lineup here, has a very familiar look about it, a nucleus of players that have been together for several years. But look at the number 22, bottom of your screen, Colorado Murray, the transfer from Tivoli Gardens, joint top scorer for the season last year, along with Javon East and Tremaine Campbell with 12 goals each. So Tremaine Stewart and Colorado Murray, 2 of the top scorers last year, are in one team tonight.
Absolutely so, and Colorado Murray is the spearhead of that attack. Stephen Williams and Andre Fletcher behind him. Then Tremaine Stewart and Kenroy Howell. Those are the ball handlers, and the policeman in the midfield is Keith Simpson in front of a flat back 4. Ricardo Thomas on the left is an ever-present. So too are the 2 centre halves, Finlayson and Laws. Denise Sims replaces Mark Miller on the right-hand flank, the man with the Beckham-esque crosses. He's not in the selection tonight.
Yeah, Mark Miller, I think, had more assists than any other player in the Premier League last year, somewhere in the teens. The Cavalier team has Mark Bryan in goal. There's Kyle Mill, the 19-year-old right back. There's DePaz joining Kamoy Simpson at central defence. Gadale Irving will be in the left back position. But again, we speak of the MHM that coach Speed has spoken about. It's Hamilton, Marshall and Marsh, and those are the men, along with Orlando Brown, that will be carrying the attack for Cavalier.
Yeah, Alex Marshall, well, he's a false 9, that's for sure. He's not a traditional number 9, doesn't have the size to play that, and doesn't play that way, doesn't play well with his back to goal. He'll be trying to pull wide as possible and allow Siobhan Marsh to push in into the central striking area, or even Nicholas Hamilton from that deep lying position. 4-2-3-1 is what Rudolph Speed says he's asking his team to play from the start.
So Monday Night Football having a slight change in the traditional 8:35 kickoff. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff local time, and there's O'Shane Nation, the man with the whistle, and he's getting ready to have this one started. Waterhouse in control early. Oh, but giving the ball away. Waterhouse will want to settle early here against a Cavalier team that is pretty much a rhythm team. If Cavalier starts to get their rhythm and knock the ball around, they develop the confidence to hurt you.
Yeah, I'm keen to see how Keith Simpson plays in this game. He's the Waterhouse captain wearing number 59. 2 seasons ago, I was rather critical of him as we catch a shot of Marcel Gale. But, you know, when a player plays badly in your eyes as an analyst, but the coach keeps him in the team, it's because of some latent quality, some quality that the coach knows he has, and it's praying for him to show that. Oh, he showed that last season as because he was one of the outstanding midfielders in the entire RSPL. Yeah,
Keith Simpson, and he tends to come good towards the playoff rounds when it becomes really important.
Big game player.
There's Rudolph Speed, technical director for the Cavalier team, a man crediting with giving young players opportunities at the top flight. So many teenagers have emerged from this Cavalier setup in the Red Stripe Premier League. Pretty young team, these. There's Marshall on the ball, just 21 years old, Marshall. Hustled off the ball. The 2 Waterhouse central defenders are pretty big men, Sean Laws and Nikolai Finlayson. Finlayson, a 17-year veteran in the Premier League. And there's Big Laws. A real massive physical specimen. Wilson Simpson forcing the ball down the right side. Simpson, a former Kingston College standout, played on their winning Walker Cup team back in 2016. Denilson Simpson gets a start tonight instead of the regular right back for Waterhouse, Mark Miller, who is not on the roster tonight.
Yeah, Miller, the best crosser of the ball in the Premier League by far. And Waterhouse will miss his contribution, but it's a very long campaign. They'll have the benefit of his services, I'm sure, pretty soon.
Cavalier trying to get their passing game going. This is how their coach, Speed, likes to see them play. Doesn't want them wasting the ball. Simpson had some injury issues. Back in business now. Long ball over to the right. Hamilton's first touch not as good as it needed to be, so he gives up possession to Waterhouse.
Yeah, and he wasn't anticipating the pass. That pass caught him flat-footed. He was standing and then realized the ball was coming to him and he ran. Not alert from Nicholas Hamilton.
Marshall. Finlayson putting the pressure on. Rankin.
Offside.
The coach, Speed, would get a little frustrated at the number of times Hamilton is caught in the offside position.
Filippo Inzaghi, Mark II, the former Juventus and Italy striker, and the AC Milan.
Irving just putting some pressure there on Fletcher. I think it was going down the right side.
It will be a keen battle lines between number 10 for Cavalier, Messi Marsh, and number 13 for Waterhouse, Ricardo Thomas. Both players very, very quick. And Thomas will fancy his chances if he's isolated by Marsh.
Hamilton. Marshall. Thomas gets there with a clearance. Hamilton can get a strike, and well blocked by Ricardo Thomas,
who hurt himself in the process.
Yeah, he flung himself in front of that effort. And Hamilton apologetic there, maybe thinking he should have got the shot up a bit quicker.
Yeah, Marshall gets it on his right foot, doesn't want anything to do with it on the right, though he's very left-footed. Hamilton trying to work the space. Very good block from the left back, who found himself in a central defending position.
Yeah, good covering there by the Waterhouse defender. Just closing up and providing a bit of a clutter there in the central defensive zone to nullify these free-flowing Cavalier attacking men. Irving does well. There's Williams. Has a lot of pace, Williams. Simpson gets in the way.
You spoke of the injury he got. That was in the playoffs last year. A nasty injury. Very, very happy I am to see him back, Kamal Simpson.
Yeah, very, very solid central defender for Cavalier. And by the way, I've been having some defensive problems so far this year, Cavalier.
Without him, because he's only just returned.
Yeah. 12 goals already conceded Cavalier this season. Only UWI have conceded more goals than they have, so they're second worst defensively so far this season, this Cavalier team.
I had a look at them against Cumberland early in the campaign, and to show you how different the team was, relatively poor by Cavalier standards, their best playmaker was their right back, Jamar Purcell.
Yeah. Whistle. It's Irving down hurt. Now, I think they were the second best defensive team, Cavalier, last year. There's the injury to Irving, conceding 24 goals for the entire season. Only Mount Pleasant had conceded fewer, and to think that they've reached half that total already, and not even 1/3 through the season. Statistically, their defensive performance this year below what we saw of them last year.
Quite.
Just a little bit too much weight on that pass.
Fitness a foul. And having some choice words for that little kick out.
Yeah, very late there from Irving. So neither of these two teams yet finding their rhythm. Two teams that on their best day offer attractive, free-flowing, attacking football for their fans.
I can tell you this though, this start by Cavalier is unusual. Usually it's a high-octane start, but guess what? The fitness of the team, not optimum.
Hamilton. Oh, Rankin almost squeezing through there, but Howell coming back doing some good defensive work there, just not allowing Rankin any comfort on the ball.
I thought Rankin's touch was bad, but it was an excellent touch from Kenroy Howell just to stab the ball away right there. Well, yes, Rankin missed the first touch. It was a good ball played through by Nicholas Hamilton.
You know, there was also Marsh closing in as well, with the ball just squeezing ahead of them both. But Howell showing a lot of awareness there, coming back to help his defenders out. There's Akeem Chambers. Simpson's attempted clearance blocked by Irving.
Yeah, I was making the point about how low-octane Cavaliers start is. It's almost as if they're trying to pace themselves from very early lands to ensure that they last to the 90.
Stewart goes all the way back to Finlayson. Yeah, their big, strong goalkeeper, Akeem Chambers. Forceful pass attempted downfield by Simpson, cut off.
Handball. Notwithstanding the quality of certain individuals on this Waterhouse team, as we see Stephen Williams there, what is true is that Tremaine Stewart makes them tick, Lance. Yeah. When he has a good game, Waterhouse usually win.
Yeah, that's for sure. Very, very skillful player, good ball handler, good vision too, very good passer of the ball. Very tricky with the ball at his feet as well.
Not to mention his prowess from set pieces.
Yeah. Irvin doesn't get by Denison Simpson.
I think we need to do the calculations, Lance, to just remind the viewers how many of those free kicks Tremaine Stewart had on target last season. Not talking about how many he scored, but how many he forced the goalkeeper to have to make a save. 2. And that's very good.
Yeah. Had some early season injuries and hasn't been playing a lot so far this season. Hasn't scored a goal yet this season for Waterhouse, Tremaine Stewart, and he was their leading scorer last year, so that should tell a story. The top scorer from last year hasn't opened his scoring yet, and Waterhouse are the leading scoring team in the league by far.
Wow.
Oh, Irving very, very brave there with a dribble through defenders. Appeared to be hooked there as he tried to go through. Referee O'Shane Nation saw nothing wrong on the play.
I'd like to see that again. Looked as if he got an arm in the face.
I thought so.
Something that a wide receiver would get, yes.
Yeah. He was pretty brave, though, to take the ball through the cluster of big Waterhouse men, and the biggest of them all, Sean Law, stopped him.
Yeah, there's blood on Leonard Rankin's elbow, and it has to be seen to. He has to leave the field. Happened when he fell in the penalty box trying to get onto the end of Nicholas Hamilton's pass.
Yes, that a few minutes ago. Cavalier, for the moment, down to 10 men.
We're almost 12 minutes deep. To this point, Ricardo Thomas, the marauding left back for Waterhouse, he hasn't passed the halfway line yet, Lance. He stayed at home. You know why? Because Messi Marsh is on his side of the field, and he has to ensure that he doesn't give up any ground if Cavalier are transitioning at pace. So very conservative start from the flank defenders from Waterhouse so far, who are usually very much in attack, supporting their forward players. That's Thomas. Goalkeeper down.
Yeah, referee Shane Thomas spots Mark Brown, the Cavalier goalkeeper, down in his box.
This is troubling though, Lance, because he hasn't been in the action at all.
Yeah.
So when would he have injured himself?
I'm not too sure, but I seem to remember a couple of fixtures last year when he went down a few times as well.
Oh yes, I can remember one at Arnett Gardens.
Yeah, so there is some issue there with him. St. Michael Edwards is the reserve goalkeeper for Cavalier, so he may want to get himself warm.
I don't see him limbering up just yet, so it appears as if they're confident that Brian will be fine.
Yeah, not too sure what happened there with him. Wow.
You see that hairstyle? That orange hair?
Yeah.
That's for you. She said she did it for you.
I wonder why.
I'm not asking her that.
So the game is about to restart.
How does he do it though? Drop ball, or he gives the possession to Waterhouse, who had the ball?
Wow. And look who's in the house. The world 100-meter champion, Shelley Ann Fraser-Price. This is her home community, Waterhouse, and she's supporting the boys. Simpson wide. Oh, good cross inside, but everyone missed it. Thomas retrieves on the flank. Williams with a cross inside, but harmless. Brian is right on the near post to take it.
2 chances for Waterhouse from that one cross, and amazingly, neither man even got a touch.
And the defenders missed it as well. So
oh yes.
Everyone failed on the cross. halftime we'll probably try to arrange a 50-meter celebrity sprint between Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price and George Davis, who fancies himself as a top sprinter.
Oh my.
George, so I lost at words. Can't believe it.
No, I'm not. I'm just thinking I'm going to be leading Shelly after 15 meters. For sure. I can make no promises thereafter.
There's Williams, leading goal scorer in the league at the moment with his 5 goals. Waterhouse boasting several of the leading scorers in the league at the moment. Kenroy Howell has 4. 3 goals each for Keith Simpson and Colorado Murray. He's had very little time on the ball so far tonight. There he's trying to go through there, but the ball didn't arrive for him. Orlando Brown, the right midfielder for Cavalier, on the ball now, former Jamaica College Manning Cup winner. Marshall looking to slip Hamilton in, but Hamilton didn't read the play.
Again on his haunches, Nicholas Hamilton. Not sharp so far from the Cavalier man.
Oh, does appear to be carrying a few extra pounds, Nicholas Hamilton.
Oh yes, I was just about to remark about that.
Yeah, he looked a lot lighter last year and the year before. Oh, brilliant skill by Fletcher, brought down, free kick.
Yellow card for sure.
Oh, that was tremendous skill there by Andre Fletcher, turning Kamoy Simpson, but the big man would have none of it.
O'Shea Nation hasn't produced the card. Look at this. Squares up Kamoy Simpson. He will.
Good skill.
That's a yellow card, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't get close to the ball at all. Fletcher had clearly gotten away from him. Good skill there by young Fletcher. A huge fan of Neymar, the Brazilian star, Andre Fletcher. And he displayed some silky skills just then. Opportunity here for Waterhouse. 4 players hovering about the 6-yard box. And another at the top of the 18. No one gets a proper handle on the ball. Diving in on the near post, Mark Bryan.
You know, Cavalier having the better of the exchanges so far, Lance, at 18 minutes. I'm surprised that I don't like where Tremaine Stewart is working for Waterhouse. He's too deep. Where he's getting possession, that ought to be Keith Simpson working the ball from there, just inside the center circle in the Waterhouse half. Then Tremaine Stewart should take charge in the Cavalier half. That's where he's most dangerous. But he's playing so deep, almost as if he's playing on Simpson's laces. So that doesn't help at all the Waterhouse thrust. So this man needs to be a little bit further up the pitch for my liking to do his damage. But you understand what I'm saying, Lance?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a more potent position for Waterhouse when Tremaine Stewart is prompting the attacking plays and forcing himself into the attacking third. Both with his passing and shooting ability. Cavalier looking smart. Whistle. O'Shea Nation is unhappy about something. He pulls the yellow card out.
Oh yes, a little bit of afters. Yes, Nikolai Finlayson. You know what? That's frustration because he felt that he got some late tackles from the Cavalier boys and the referee didn't intervene. And so he had a little kick out earlier. And O'Shea Nation is saying, well, that's unsporting, that's aggressive. And he's produced the yellow card for that, even though the infringement was against Waterhouse in the box. Look at this.
Yeah.
And then the kick out comes there. Yeah.
Yeah, so the free kick is for Waterhouse, but the action of Finlayson punished by referee O'Shane Nation.
Still upset because Gadiel Irving, he felt, kicked him when the ball had gone and the referee did nothing. And he carried that frustration through to that point where he got a yellow card.
Nation, one of the island's FIFA referees, his last international assignment would have been earlier on this month in a CONCACAF Nations League match between St. Martin and the Cayman Islands. Murray forcing himself forward here and almost slips in. But Brian is alert. Murray appears to be been knocked in the face there, and is suffering some discomfort at the moment.
You know, the goals he scored last season, Lance, the reason I rate them so highly, he scored a lot of goals in a poor Tivoli team, we must not forget, Colorado Murray.
Yeah. And they didn't make the playoffs, so players like Tremaine Stewart and Javon East, who played right down to the very end because they both contested the finals for Waterhouse and Portmore, still weren't able to get by his 12 goals.
Yep. And consider that Colorado Murray scored so many goals without the Tivoli talisman Jermaine Teddy Johnson being available for much of the game, so he didn't have that ready supply.
Yes. So the number 22 for Waterhouse, trying to make a mark on this game here tonight. Hamilton. Fine strike there by Irving. Waterhouse's defenders tidy up some clumsy work by Akeem Chambers.
Excellent by Cavalier, who are dominating this game now. Excellent decision by Hamilton to ignore the two passes to his right and play it into the space to Irving overlapping on his left. Waterhouse need a rejig, Lance.
Yeah.
They're not at it completely. Look at this. Ignore those two passes. The first time shot, goalkeeper saw it all the way, but not too smart in his handling. Bailed out by his defenders.
Yeah, good that the defenders were right there to tidy up. Was hit with a lot of power, so I think his first inability to take it clean, it could have been forgiven, but the second time he probably should have held on. Good skill here by Marsh, but finds the cluster of Waterhouse defenders impenetrable on that play halfway through the first half.
Yeah. With all speed, I'm sure they're really happy with how his team have approached this first half. Marcel Gale maybe wondering why his boys are so subdued. It starts in the midfield, I would suggest.
It's Raheem. The pass just knocking that one away. Get some regular playing time now in the Cavalier setup. Of course, they lost one of their premier defenders last season, Chamoy Topi. Threatening cross. Brian holds it well. Topi now plays in the USL Pro League for Bethlehem Steel after a solid start to the Premier League season last year for the Cavalier team. Waterhouse having more time on the ball here, 52% possession.
The most obvious measure of how Cavalier are dominating this game, their two flank defenders, the right back and the full back, have been very much a part of the action.
Fletcher can't get to that one in time.
Yeah. So I'm saying Gadiel Irving and Orlando Brown have been in the thick of things throughout, attacking. Even Irving just had a shot on target. Meanwhile, the Waterhouse fullbacks have barely passed the half line. And they're the home team. So they're being dictated to by the visitors' lines on their home patch.
Yeah. Worrying signs here for coach Marcel Gale. And his team top of the league table at the moment. Pre-game, we heard Damian Gordon talking about the form of the team, and the question has to be asked, George, about sustaining this kind of form for the entire season, because they would have peaked earlier because of their CONCACAF Champions League outings in August and September. But the challenge for them is to ensure that when we get to the third round of the Premier League, they'll be as good as they are now.
Yeah, it will catch up at some point for sure.
Simpson knocked over.
Excellent defensive work from the captain, though. Helping out his defenders and feeling the pain for it.
Marshall went for ball there, but made illegal contact. And after 25 minutes, it's Cavalier that have looked more threatening here against the home team. Ricardo Thomas in the left full-back position for Waterhouse was part of the unsuccessful Jamaica Olympic qualifying campaign this past summer, and they were eliminated in group play by St. Kitts and Nevis, who were eventually toppled in the CFU finals by Haiti. So approaching the half-hour mark, nothing earth-shattering to report on this fixture so far, but it's been tense.
Yeah. I would expect Waterhouse to finish this game stronger because they're the fitter team. But so far, they've been second best. Cavalier, though, must make their relative control of the game show. They have to score now.
Apart from the points table, heavily favouring Waterhouse in this fixture, there are a couple of other statistical trends as Howell goes for the left-footed strike from distance. Supporting a Waterhouse win, one of that is their impressive home record. They've won all 4 of their home games so far this season, this Waterhouse team. Cavalier on the road haven't been good. They've lost 3 of their 4 away games, Cavalier. So from those stats, you would fancy Waterhouse as well, but certainly from the first 27 minutes that we've seen of this game, Cavalier are not looking inferior in any way.
Not at all.
Fletcher's pass cut off by Simpson. Marsh to Brown. Good work by Hakeem Chambers, because there was Hamilton prowling there with an opportunity if it did emerge.
And again, a Cavalier fullback getting involved, starting that play.
Brilliant defensive work there from Kamoy Simpson, just taking it on the chest comfortably, and then the delivery was excellent.
A chest like a bucket of sand, Lance.
Yeah, real excellent work, and there were players around him, so he needed to be precise with the play. It certainly makes a huge difference. It was part of the reason why Cavalier's defense line was so solid last year, Kamoy Simpson.
All right, chalk it, Lance. The 29th minute, the first time Waterhouse's left back overlapped. Ricardo Thomas.
And he's a player who is given to overlapping a lot. Space here for Marshall. Oh, brilliant skill by Marshall. His not so favored right foot shot, though, blocked. Simpson gets the header out, and then Laws gets it further away. But the Waterhouse defense having to work a lot harder in this game so far than the Cavalier defense. Laws taking no prisoners.
Mean figure.
Got on the score sheet recently, Sean Laws. Don't see him score too many goals, but he had a headed goal against Arnett Gardens a couple of weeks ago. Big Laws.
And don't forget, Lance, he first came to the Premier League as a Cavalier player.
That's right. And also played with Barbican and Reno. So well travelled, even though he is still a young man at 26 years old. Whistle, and there's an injury.
Yeah, back, the landing, and he produces a card, he will. And big Depaz, the centre half for Cavalier goes into the book.
Chris Chambers going for that there. Wow.
Keith Simpson nailed.
Glass crashes heavily into the back of Keith Simpson. And the Waterhouse captain is in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Simpson, vastly experienced player, did play Premier League football before for Portmore and Tivoli. Also spent some time in Trinidad and Tobago, where he played with San Juan Jablate, Northeast Stars, and also spent some time at Club Sandhouse. So wore 3 different colours in the TNT Pro League as it was then.
Yeah, from my money lines, he was the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League last year. He really was outstanding for Waterhouse. The rock on which their run to the final was built, Keith Simpson. Others did the creative, the fancy stuff. Tremaine Stewart scoring the free kicks and the pretty goals. But Keith Simpson was the man who every evening did the dirty work. As the former Manchester United legend, well, the legendary former Manchester United player Eric Cantona said of Didier Deschamps, the captain of the '98 France World Cup winning team, lads, he said that Deschamps was the piano carrier. Pianos are heavy. Keith Simpson, the piano carrier on this Waterhouse team.
Very solid player, Keith Simpson, vastly experienced. There's no level of domestic football in Jamaica that would faze him.
I often wonder why calls like these are fouls. If you look at the replay, Marsh went with his head. I can't imagine him trying to injure Ricardo Thomas with his head. And I don't know. Oh, it was a foot. There you go. That's a foul.
Oh yeah.
But did he catch him all the way to the top of his head? He held the top of his head. He bought a foul. Okay, yeah. He bought a foul.
Howell. Stewart. Almost lost it. Whistle.
Yeah, but I don't mind that. That's where I want to see Tremaine Stewart working if I'm a Waterhouse fan. Right there, that's his position on the field.
Yeah.
He can do anything. He can shoot from distance, look left or right for a pass. But very well shackled here, very well marshaled here by a very, very good player, Purcell.
Yeah, a bit of an elbow there from Tremaine Stewart. And referee O'Shane Nation was close enough to the play to spot it. Just had a quick word there with Tremaine Stewart. Thomas just shadowing there and allowing his goalkeeper Chambers to retreat because there was Orlando Brown with a lot of pace coming through on the right flank.
Very impressive how Cavalier have pushed back the Waterhouse fullbacks and making that point again as I see it unfold.
Again, Keith Simpson goes down and Jamar Purcell, the guilty man.
Yeah, that's the lid of the piano dropping on Keith Simpson's back.
Alex Marshall, a real peacemaker. Yeah, a bit of a shove there into the back of Keith Simpson. Here comes Thomas. Stewart strikes from distance. Tracks it wide.
Again, though, that's his spot. That's where I want to see him getting possession. Has the ability to score from there. We've seen goals from him from that distance in the past.
Yeah, and he was unchallenged. So that was an inviting position for him to strike.
Yeah, it makes no sense for Tremaine Stewart to be winning the ball, tackling for the ball in the center circle in his own half. He's wasted here. That's Keith Simpson's terrain. Get out of that zone, get further forward, bring your team forward.
Howell, Thomas. They're looking for Murray but can't find him. Simpson. Finlayson. Stewart. searching for passes. Doesn't like the ones ahead of him. So he goes back to Finlayson. Howell. Simpson. That's Denilson Simpson. His cross is poor, and Cavalier are in transition. This is what they like, Cavalier. Marsh. Orlando Brown's first touch is poor, and he gives up the ball cheaply. Murray hasn't seen a lot of time on the ball, Murray. Wow, it's an innocuous pass across the center circle.
Steve Williams made him spirit his blushes by retrieving that. It was an errant pass.
Simpson, his pass cut off. Murray to Keith Simpson.
Crowd getting impatient.
Yeah. And they've had a lot to smile about so far this season, the Waterhouse supporters. They were on a 7-game unbeaten run until their last fixture when they lost 3-1 to Mount Pleasant.
And he's tired of Jamara Purcell, it would seem, O'Shea Nation.
Purcell looks genuinely concerned at the call against him. Let's see what happened here.
Yeah. If you've been warned by the referee and then you do that, you're going to get a card.
Fletcher has switched sides. He has now come over to the left, and he's won himself a throw here for the Waterhouse team. Just over 7 minutes to the halftime break. Tremaine Stewart. Howell. Denilson Simpson. Forced to take the ball back. Cavaliers defenders are covering well. Kamoy Simpson easily takes care of the Colorado Murray advance, and he's having a miserable night tonight, Colorado Murray. He's accustomed to scoring goals, but he isn't getting the service tonight to provide him with opportunities.
No, and then Waterhouse have pushed up Denilson Simpson on the right-hand side, trying to get behind the Cavalier defense from that flank, trying to get the ball into Colorado Murray. Hasn't worked so far.
Simpson has a quick glance behind him, see how much time he has. Good football there by Marshall. Marsh. Does too much and loses the ball. But Waterhouse are still backed up in their defensive third. Irvin gets a challenge from Simpson. He won't like much what he's seeing.
Kenroy Howell has been a tad disappointing for me. The Waterhouse number 10. It's funny, you often accuse players of dribbling too much. Kenroy Howell is a player I don't think dribbles enough, given his ability with the ball at his feet on the run.
Yeah, he's a huge fan of Lionel Messi, and if he takes a leaf out of Messi's book, he'll do a lot more, George, of what you want him to do.
Yeah, the follow-through catching Leonard Rankin just now. And he's appealing to O'Shea Nation, saying that's a bookable offense. Hard tackle, all ball caught, but then the follow-through was an aggressive tackle, to be fair. And the studs raking along his shin and causing him some pain.
Evidence here that both teams are a little annoyed with referee O'Shea Nation, which in some quarters would suggest that the referee is doing a good job.
Oh yes. This is the tackle at war. Bang on the shin guard. Still hurts.
Yeah, it's the follow through there from Denilson Simpson. One of 3 Simpsons on the field. 2 on the Cavalier roster. Well, 1 on the Cavalier roster, Kamoy Simpson, and 2 on the Waterhouse roster.
And we can report that they aren't related.
Yeah. Keith Simpson and Denilson Simpson. Wonder who she's cheering for tonight.
Maybe me.
Oh.
Or Donald Oliver.
There's Ricardo Thomas. Not up to this point having the kind of energetic game that we're accustomed to seeing from him.
Yeah. He's playing right down below our commentary position. That ball was intended for him. And he's been trying to get forward more, but he's not been picked out. Here comes the counter-attack.
Yeah, Marsh has some room here, but 2 Waterhouse players converge on him. Howell on the counter-attack.
Finally, Lance, the home team seem to be warming to the task. They've just been the more dominant team in the past 3 to 5 minutes.
Thomas. Fletcher knocked over by DePaz. From behind, free kick, I think, to Waterhouse.
Excellent by Fletcher. The first touch wasn't good. Went high to collect that ball, the chest trap. But still managed to get his body between the defender and the ball. And that's how he won the free kick.
Yeah. He knew where the defender was and just placed himself there. Good, brave work there by young Fletcher. Former Dinthill technical standout. 11 goals for Dinthill in his last DaCosta Cup season back. And significantly, no goals yet between 2 teams that are accustomed to scoring goals. Waterhouse have had 18 already this season. Marshall. Big loss. Called back for a foul on Purcell.
I think that was a good foul, because the break was still on, even though Marshall's run forward was delayed.
You're right, George, because Laws would have been badly out of position as well.
Oh yes, he was behind the play.
Yeah. Wow. Chambers completely misjudges the flight of the cross inside, and Cavalier now putting the pressure on. Law saves the day for the moment. Purcell's effort cleared away by Finlayson. Pretty untidy football there in that run of play.
Oh my word, almost as if he was attacked by a swarm of mosquitoes. Don't know what he was fanning at. Nowhere near the ball. Very lucky that Thomas was alert in his station on the left of the defense.
That's right. A minute added on for stoppages here at the half-time, and that whistle will go pretty soon. Let's see if there's time for a Waterhouse effort on goal. Williams, who has been pretty stifled, doesn't get the opportunity there in the box.
Yeah, their playmakers are not bringing them into play. Neither Colorado Murray nor Stephen Williams. Tremaine Stewart and Kenroy Howell have come deep to collect the ball, but I don't think they really have to. And not finding a way through this white wall, this defensive white wall that Cavalier have built.
Yeah, so O'Shane Nation, the referee, has seen enough for the first half. Keith Simpson, the Waterhouse captain, and Siobhan Marsh, the Cavalier captain, have been busy tonight and have seen a lot of the play. Simpson, in fact, fouled several times, and there's one man of several who've picked up yellow cards in the match so far. Nikolai Finlayson, Purcell another. But it's been that kind of fixture here where no team has been able to gain any tremendous ascendancy. And as a result, at halftime, no goals here between the championship leaders Waterhouse and Cavalier at the halftime break. Red Stripe Football Mondays on Sportsmax, the home of champions. Back in a moment.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red Stripe alone champion boy go. Man a pour them a sing anthem to. Red Stripe, watcha. Man shall I better forward boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run him all a plan boy. The Red Stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah, yo.
Going somewhere?
We are ready.
The role is to continue to drive for the development of the game here. Although players are selected from clubs abroad, they were developed in the league.
They're really quality players and they have really good attitude and you get your money's worth.
This match has turned up several gears. Here at Druseland, Waterhouse and Cavalier locked in a 0-0 battle at the moment. It's been bruising in parts between these two teams because Cavalier have been the more attacking team on the night, and their defensive unit has been forced to make a couple of frenetic tackles and clearances down the defensive third. There's Nicholas Hamilton sending Marshall forward. Marshall's cross though not as good as it needed to be, but the play's still alive here for Cavalier. Hamilton's effort though blocked by the sliding defender Ricardo Thomas. Cavalier on the run once more. Hamilton goes wide to Irving, whose strike is deflected by Akeem Chambers. In goal for Waterhouse. Good strike there by Irving, the left full back for Cavalier. But the Waterhouse defenders and goalkeeper shutting them out. Tremaine Stewart with his long-range effort, dragging wide. Had time and space there, was invited to strike. Badly mistimed the charge there by Akeem Chambers, but luckily for him, his left full back, Ricardo Thomas, is on the back post there to tidy things up. So after 45 minutes of this fixture, Waterhouse having more time on the ball, but they haven't looked that good. 53%. They've had just 2 attempts on goal. Cavalier 5 attempts on goal. 3 of those attempts by Cavalier have been on target. 14 fouls in the match so far. 3 yellow cards to the Cavalier men, just 1 for Waterhouse. Cavalier forcing 2 corners. No corners forced here by Waterhouse. So it's been a tight battle here between these two teams, Waterhouse and Cavalier. Waterhouse at the moment is leading the championship with 18 points. Cavalier are in 6th position and looking for a victory tonight that, if they get it, would take them to 4th spot. Vice chairman of the PLCA, the Premier League Clubs Association, Carvel Stewart, is with George Davis.
Thank you very much, Dan. So Carvel Stewart is with me. Carvel, we have, well, Sportsmax is back with the Red Stripe Premier League. The league has experienced some issues in recent weeks, let's call it that, where the broadcasting is concerned. But now that you're back on track, what do you expect to happen from here?
Well, first of all, on the matter of issues, we are trying to move the broadcast forward in terms of monetizing to earn money for the league, for the football. And so part of the delay had a lot to do with us trying to work that out with the various broadcasters. But now that we're back on Sportsmax, it looks good. Been watching it behind you on the monitor. presentation is good, the production is good. So we're looking forward to another successful year of broadcast, and we're hoping to enhance the product as we go along.
Yeah, and that's the point I want to take you up on, enhancing the product, because look, the RSPL and Sportsmax have had a relationship for some time now.
Yeah.
The relationship has been good, the product has looked good, it has a resonance with the fans.
Yeah.
The next step is, how do the men and women at the boardroom level, you included, lift this thing up so that the clubs can benefit more from it? That's a key question.
Well, we've been working all pre-season. We sent out bids for the broadcast so that we could start realizing income earning potential for the broadcast. So now that we're where we are and we are with Sportsmax, we're going to work with that and around that to ensure that we can send it far and wide. As you know, we do have an app that we stream on,
yes,
and we're hoping to take it further afield so that the other people will buy into it. As you know, there are a lot of countries where, as you said, Jamaica, they respond. Jamaica resonates a lot of countries. Africa, for instance, Nigeria, Ghana, those places. So we'll be reaching out to those places as well. You know, we're already in the region with you, so we have to go much further afield and see how we can get more people hooked on RSPL.
And so I have to ask you that question from that statement. Is there a real appetite for this product, you believe, beyond the anecdotal and the fact that Jamaica has a certain resonance? Is there an appetite, even in the markets that we service as Sportsmax and beyond, a real appetite that can translate into dollars for this RSPL?
Well, there is an appetite. Up to last night, one of our football giant referees, FIFA instructor, who has been traveling the region, just came up to me and said the region is crying over the absence of the RSPL. We have had people buy into the streaming app as far away as China, Israel, and in Europe as well. I'm assuming they may be Jamaicans, but even if they are Jamaicans, they can invite friends in from those countries to start watching, and hopefully they'll get hooked on it, and we'll be able to realize income for the football. A lot of people see the English Premier League where it was now. They didn't know when it started. They didn't know that almost all the clubs were broke in England and the leagues were going nowhere. And the big clubs insisted that we form a new league and we try and monetize it. This is what we're doing now, and we hope to lift Jamaica's football as a whole through this process.
Absolutely so. Well, Sky and Rupert Murdoch did for the Premier League back in the early 90s what Oliver McIntosh and Sportsmax are hoping to do for the RSPL. Thank you, Carvel.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Back to you, Lance.
George Davis there with Carvel Stewart of the PLCA, coming up on Sportsmax 2 on Saturday, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time. La Liga Español against Valencia. Levante will tackle the defending champions Barcelona later in the morning at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time, again on Sportsmax 2. And in the UEFA Champions League, coming up on the 6th of November, it's a Wednesday fixture, 3:45 Eastern Caribbean time. Real Madrid, the former champions, they're up against Galatasaray. We're ready now for the 12th man, Fuzzy Gale, the coach of Waterhouse, and his men in the 12th man. So the Vuvuzelas and the Waterhouse fans making their presence felt here at their home ground.
Famous Red Bridge. These man said across the bridge.
How tough is it to play at Jerusalem?
Why? A lot of pressure sometimes. But you have to just get them in a your corner and make them know, say, oh yeah. So we want to support. We don't need them for tear down, we just need them for build up. Even when we lose, yeah, but it not happen that way. You have to just earn your respect and know, say, so it go.
Knowing Jamaicans, it's pretty much like everything. If it doesn't go their way, it's always going to be arguments, cussing, but they do be harsh sometimes. But you're playing for Waterhouse FC, you got to be tough. It's all about being tough, your toughness.
It's always going to be tough because the expectation of Waterhouse spectators, which drive me, because I know on a half day I can't have a half day. So it have to be on the ball. So they keep me ticking, and that's good for football, and also for myself.
Coach, big up yourself, coach. Them man start the club to you, them man start the club to you. Stop it. Yes, coach. And people are hard and fun in their community. You know what I mean? But through certain things, you know what I mean? Diversity. So people stop, come, but hopefully this year we can make a change. They earn respect as in life. Winning match, scoring goal, saving goal, and put out their best foot forward at any time. Then we work with that every time.
And Waterhouse, runners-up last year in the Red Stripe Premier League, satisfying their home fans with a win in their opener.
The type of pressure I put on myself, I don't think the spectators have that kind of pressure, because I have a lot of expectation of me. And you know, I just want to make the best of the situation. And it's not going to be easy. And so, you know, I think we are one of the best spectators around, because if you're not doing well, they make no bones about it. They will tell you right away, say, coach, hey, you're not doing well, you need to go. So I don't want to hear that. So I've gone there every day and push myself and push the players to get the best out of them.
Waterhouse FC. Fire!
If Barrett misses here, Portmore are champions. Oh, that's it. Portmore, third time lucky, a record 6 titles in Red Stripe Premier League football. What joy, what celebration in the National Stadium for Portmore. Did you lose faith or was shaken at any point tonight?
Like I said to Coach Curtis, the last time I was
Moments away from the start of the second half. O'Shane Nation, the man with the whistle, has a word with the Cavalier captain, Siobhan Marsh, and Jeffrey Henry.
Yeah, there were 4 yellow cards in the first half, 3 to Cavalier players, 1 to Waterhouse. Amazingly, Kamoy seems to escape the booking for that tackle. Nikolai Finnison didn't escape one. Marsh, a high boot there, and then Purcell, persistent fouling. Rankin felt that one, that tackle from Simpson, and Purcell was booked. He, one of 3 Cavalier players in the books, joined by Raheem DePaz and Gadale Irving, taking down Keith Simpson there.
Yeah, Purcell, a Manning Cup winner with Jamaica College. George has been looking as if he's in a war tonight.
and it's not even really been malicious fouls, really, just niggling. Yeah, here and there and here and everywhere. Referee warned him, he didn't heed and shoved the guy, and in the book for that.
So the kickoff for the second half, and Cavalier in possession in the white. So we projected goals tonight, because Cavalier and Waterhouse in their battles usually give you goals. So far, the score sheet is empty on both sides.
Tackle there on Tremaine Stewart illegal, and the referee having words with Kyle Ming, who apologizes to Colorado Murray, beg your pardon, who was on the receiving end of that tackle.
Stewart doesn't like his forward passing options and goes behind. We've seen that happen so many times here with this Waterhouse team when they're in offense. An indication that the Cavalier men are backing up well and covering all the holes. Marshall, Finlayson, Marsh with the effort, fine effort. Ball still alive for Cavalier. Simpson gets it away, that's Keithy. Oh, that's a poor miss by Hamilton on the 6-yard box.
He was offside.
The flag had gone up anyhow.
Let me tell you, that was poor defending from Waterhouse just now. Messi Marsh picks up the ball here. Why you can't show him on his left foot, Keithy Simpson? No better than that you do, I'm sure you do. The save was effective, not tidy. And in the end, Waterhouse cleared their lines. But Keithy Simpson, you have to allow Messi Marsh to run outside you on his right foot. Invite him to run inside on the left. Only one thing he's going to do is going to try to do a Robin.
First touch by Fletcher, good. Sends Murray on. Murray under some pressure. Ming takes care of business there. And now Cavalier give the ball away. Throw to Waterhouse, deep inside the Cavalier half.
Two shots on target in this game so far, Lance, both from Cavalier players. And they keep pressing.
Yeah, the Cavalier game looking a bit more organized than the Waterhouse game tonight, both in offense and in defense. They've looked pretty solid in defense, this Cavalier team. And they haven't allowed the Waterhouse team too many opportunities on the attacking third.
And but for that period close to the half-time interval where Waterhouse got back into it, I'm agreeing with you that Cavalier have been more purposeful in their work.
Rankin's pass finds Hamilton. Goes for the left-footed strike. Easy take by Chambers in goal.
Yeah, another shot on target, the third, and all three by Cavalier.
Keithy Simpson to Howell. Fletcher. Stewart finds room. Stewart goes for the strike. He's off target.
Yeah, Denise Simpson was offering the passing option to his right, but I don't think he was running purposefully enough, so Tremaine Stewart ignored him. But again, that's where I want to see him operate. I'm agreeing with you also, Lance, that Nicholas Hamilton, maybe 7 to 10 pounds would be good to take off him so he can get back to his sharp best. Has not been sharp tonight, the number 9 for Cavalier. Looks to be carrying, in horse racing terms, Lance, a bit of conditioning. That's what we say.
Yeah. Who's the strip fitter?
Oh, yes.
Usually lightning fast on the transitions for Cavalier, which is part of the potency of this Cavalier team.
And in case someone is wondering why he's carrying so much condition, he missed the early part of the season because of injury. So he's only just working himself back into the groove. Yeah, has some work to do still.
Here's Laws. Murray takes it down, but doesn't keep control of the ball. Cavalier looking composed in defense. Now there goes Hamilton. Has room.
Handball.
Brown's pass cut off there by the hand of this man, Ricardo Thomas. Very solid Waterhouse player, Ricardo Thomas, only 22 years old. Ex-Marvel Hughenden player. There goes Brown, under pressure. Marsh. Purcell. Marshall. Simpson. That's Kamoy. Irving. Poor cross.
For sure. There was only one man in a white shirt in the box, though, to be fair. Cavalier, Waterhouse fan lands in the back, urging his team to wake up. And I think that's the right call. Dazed so far from Marcel Gale's men, for the most part.
You're very kind, George, in suggesting that he's urging his team to wake up. That's not exactly what he's doing, is he?
It's a euphemistic description.
Strike. Harmless. Chambers has the easy take. 6.5 minutes into the second half. And Gale, the Waterhouse boss, is wondering what's going wrong with his team.
Yeah, looks rather perplexed, Marcel Gale.
Undefeated in their first 7 games, including 6 victories, until a loss to Mount Pleasant last week. Murray running on to the end of it, but he doesn't get there before Kamoy Simpson does.
Well, I tell you what. Again, the pass was on, but he only started sprinting after the pass was played. That's not good enough. He needed to have been on his bike before. Had he done so, he would have caught up to that pass, but he reacted to it rather than invite the pass with his run. Not good enough, Danielson. Simpson.
Murray playing through there to Simpson. The pass did look threatening when it left Murray's boot. Marshall turns well. Finlayson reads the play well and just snuffs the attack out. Two sevens clash. Purcell goes down.
The late Joseph Culture Hill. Studs from Tremaine Stewart. Not intentional, I don't think. Well, Stephen Williams, to be fair. Yeah, a stamp on Purcell, who's back and running.
Chambers has the easy take there. Fletcher. Howell. Still Howell. Attempted to go for the strike there, had a lot of power on it. All of the Cavalier defenders in the way. Purcell. Marsh. Great delivery here to Hamilton, who is offside.
Yeah. Marsh took too long with the pass. Hamilton had his arm up for a while, beckoning him to just loft it over the top into his path. Did they get that wrong? The angle looks...
Yeah, it looks really marginal. Hard to tell from where we were, but he did look pretty much in line. Would have been a fractional call.
Yeah, that needed to have been released a little bit earlier, though.
And to be fair to Hamilton, his first touch was really sweet. And he was getting himself on his way to goal.
On his favored left foot as well. What's the name of Rihanna's hit, Lance? Man Down?
Yes.
There you go.
Murray looks to be hurt.
Yeah, but offensively, Waterhouse just have not clicked tonight. Early in this first half, I saw Tremaine Stewart pass to Stephen Williams. I can't recall many other times in this game where Tremaine Stewart passed to Stephen Williams, and that's a combination that you need to get going for Waterhouse to be an attacking threat. You need Tremaine Stewart passing to Williams, passing to Colorado Murray. This is how he got hurt. The pass with the follow through again in the calf.
Yeah, that was pretty painful. DePaz, a big strapping man, over 6 feet tall and probably 200 plus pounds maybe.
Carrying a little extra weight as well.
Irvin. Kamoy Simpson. DePaz. Purcell was Brown blocked in his attempt to go forward. Free kick to Cavalier inside their own half. Marsh and Thomas fighting for the ball. Howell, Murray, Simpson, to Danielson, Simpson, now Fletcher. Again, Cavaliers defense line solid as a rock. Keith Simpson. Williams wanted that on the far post. The ball didn't arrive for him.
He wanted it early.
Yeah. Marshall. Rankin. Marshall wants the ball back and gets it. Sprays Brown away wide down the right flank. Thomas chases. The cross inside. Hamilton! Wow! Best chance of the night for Cavalier.
That was a beautiful passage of play from Alex Marshall's crossfield pass, which was a peach. Look at this pass. Brown didn't take it cleanly, but he fought, persevered with it. His cross was good, and all Nicholas Hamilton has to do is find the back of the net. And did the goalkeeper get a glove to that, Lance? I think he did.
Yeah, I wonder if Laws also got it. No, he didn't. Yeah, he did get a glove. I'm not sure.
It was going wide, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I was just about to suggest that it wasn't going into the goal anyhow.
Wow. A sharp Nicholas Hamilton would have buried that.
I think so too. But I would say best chance of the night for Cavalier.
Oh, for sure. That was a move of 2 passes. Marshall's pass to Brown, Brown's pass to Hamilton, and Hamilton should have finished. He couldn't.
Yeah, so real problems for Waterhouse tonight. They're not finding things their own way. An 18-goal team so far this year, including a 7-0 win over Harbourview last month, which was actually the biggest RSPL victory margin in the Premier League since Arnett Gardens beat Sandoz by 5-0 back in January 2018. Ken Chambers has to save the day for Waterhouse. Another corner. Marshall will strike it now from the left, or from the right. With the left. Marshall. Oh, good skill. Ming with a header across. And Ricardo Thomas gives up a cheap corner.
Yeah, poor header by Kyle Ming. That should have been put back into the crowd of players. Was trying to be too cute and it went awry.
Good corner. Here comes Rankin. 4th consecutive corner now for Cavalier. Would actually force 2 corners in the first half. 0 from Waterhouse.
Home team on the ropes.
Yes, sir. Hamilton, several white shirts in the box for Cavalier. Oh, his header sends it back for a 5th consecutive corner.
Yeah, the home team on the ropes.
Six unanswered corners for Cavalier. Good firm header out.
Man down, looks like the pass. He took a blow to the head.
Yeah, the body language suggesting here that he's in considerable pain. There's Orlando Brown. And there's the pause. He's looking under pressure. Appears to have been struck just over the left eye.
All right, let's look at Hamilton's chance once again. So Marshall sees the run of Brown, who gets behind Ricardo Thomas and has enough wheels to get away from the Waterhouse man. And look at this pass. Oh my, that's begging for a finish and a proper connection. I don't think the goalkeeper would have stopped that.
No, he wouldn't have. There was a bit of a climb for Hamilton to kind of get on top of the ball, but we have to think that a sharper Hamilton could have done better there. Offside against the number 9. The Nelson brothers, Jeremy and Nicholas, who have been stalwarts for Cavalier the past couple of seasons, now back at the lines. Kamoy Simpson gets the ball away. This is Orlando Brown, has a lot of pace. Marshall. Oh, Big Laws gets in the way.
Excellent. I can tell you that Waterhouse looks to be warming up an attacker, and Cavalier warming up 2 players. This is the time of the game where the coaches ring the changes.
Yeah. It's been a tough game. And the kind of game that fresh legs could probably make a difference. The pass gives up a corner.
Yeah, poor from him.
Waterhouse's first corner of the match.
And with the size of the Cavalier, with some of the Waterhouse players, they have about 4 players over 6 feet, not counting the goalkeeper. So they should have some presence in the box if the delivery is good from Tremaine Stewart.
Five Waterhouse men in the box. Purcell's header gets the danger away, at least for now. Irving. I think Hamilton was offside.
He would have been.
Yeah. The assistant referee just held his flag because he didn't get to the ball. There's Fletcher climbing onto the back there of Rankin, and a loose ball now picked up by Ricardo Thomas. Keith Simpson. Fletcher unable to keep the ball in.
Yeah, but put off by the presence of Kamoy Simpson closing him down, Lance.
Yeah, Simpson, a very strong, robust defender. And you could see that he caught Fletcher's attention. Fletcher kept feeling for him and anticipating what may have happened And I think that contributed to him not getting control of the ball. Williams. Wow. Frustration here from Williams. 5 goals already this season, but not a lot of time on the ball tonight.
Here comes the change. Number 7, Stephen Williams, is coming out. You said it. And Rafiq Thomas, the veteran striker, Lance, comes in to replace him.
Rafiq Thomas, 35 years old. Ex-Portsdown and Harbourview player. Won Red Stripe Premier League titles with Harbourview, this man. And gets an opportunity now to inject some life into the game. From the offensive end for Waterhouse, they've been stifled on the front end tonight by a Cavalier defensive setup that's been pretty solid. Brown on the right. Purcell. Ming wants it, or Irving wants it, and gets it on the left. No problems in goal for Akeem Chambers. Confirmation of the Stephen Williams exit. Rafiq Thomas in for him.
With Thomas's addition, you may see the ball going forward a little bit quicker for Waterhouse, given that there's someone who plays well with his back to goal in Rafiq Thomas.
Irving. Oh, delightful ball in. Hamilton didn't get to it. And Waterhouse defenders get the ball away. Hamilton turns well. Pretty difficult to get by Sean Laws in a situation like that.
Yeah, it's like running around a trailer truck.
Yeah.
Well, a trailer on a truck. Yeah.
Laws here to Tremaine Stewart. Finnison. Thomas. Brown. Pressure forces the error, and Waterhouse winning a throw with Thomas. Keeper Simpson. Under a lot of pressure here from Marshall.
Excellent closing down by Cavalier. Superb by Alex Marshall.
Yeah. Irving stands firm. Doesn't allow Fletcher to get by him. Doesn't allow Simpson to get by him. Fletcher and Simpson trying to combine there. The Waterhouse attackers now trying their best to put pressure on the Cavalier defenders. Cavalier's defense has been solid tonight.
Yeah, I was making the point that Rafiq Thomas is good with his back to goal. Neither Colorado Murray nor Stephen Williams, when he was on the pitch, like to play that way. They want to get the ball on the half turn, or they want to carry the ball into the penalty box. Thomas will be happy posting up. Never mind his small frame. He's very strong, hard to dislodge when he has the ball at his feet and the defender at his back. That's the man, Rafiq Thomas. So perhaps now Waterhouse will be a little bit more direct.
Yeah. Thomas fouls Ming. Ming just 19 years old. Youngest player on the park at the moment. Brown. Marsh. Oh, delightful ball in. Marshall tumbles over. Here comes Marsh.
Got a touch, but it just wasn't enough. Skewed off the outside of the left foot. Chambers getting knocked in the process, but this is Alex Marshall. Nice move to shift the ball from one side to the next. Sean Laws on the scene quickly.
Yeah, good daring move there from Marshall, but just overbalanced and lost his footing as he went threatening toward goal. But the exchange of passes there between Marshall and Marsh certainly threatening. There goes Marshall. Tumbles over. Free kick to Cavalier as Sean Laws got his feet entangled with the 21-year-old who has won a free kick in a threatening looking position. Waterhouse will have to defend this.
Clear foul. And he's booked, Sean Laws. So now 2 Waterhouse men in the book, bringing the overall total of yellow cards to 5. 3 for Cavalier, 2 for Waterhouse.
So Laws goes into the referee's books, and a look of concern on his face now, because I would think a wall of at least 5 players may have to defend this free kick, depending on where, or based on where it is being kicked from.
Rankin looks as if he's pulling rank. They're having a little a little mini conference, the Cavalier team, about what they're going to do. And they've decided on the plan lines. Let's see how it works.
Yeah. A 4-man wall set up here. I would think they need another man in that wall. But they're going with 4. Marshall straight into the wall. Defended, I think, by Laws himself. So he caused the damage and repaired it. Yeah, with his big chest. And wasted left-footed strike there from Irving, whose effort looked very half-hearted.
So they could have left, they should have done it over the meeting, right?
It seems so.
There you go.
This is Howell looking for some support. Simpson.
All game long, Waterhouse have been trying to get Denise Simpson in behind Irving on this left side of the defense for Cavalier, and they've failed. Irving getting help from his midfielders. When it's not his midfielders, it's his centre half, Kamoy Simpsons, who's come across to assist him.
Yeah. Rafiq. Simpson. Oh, does well to get the cross in. But again, Cavalier's defense line efficient. Oh, now they've given the ball away. Oh, good skill by Tremaine Stewart. Ball rebounds favorably for him. And Cavalier are still defending. Poor cross attempted by Ricardo Thomas. Eases the pressure on Cavalier.
Yeah, and his captain has some strong words with him. Another change by Waterhouse, number 15 coming out. That's Andre Fletcher, who was visibly tired in the last 10 or so minutes.
And now Andre Moulton is going to take his place. Moulton, a strike partner of Colorado Murray with Tivoli last season and the season before. Now get some playing time here for the Waterhouse team.
a player who gets himself into goal scoring opportunities very often, Andre Moulton, but for me, his finishing, not precise enough, but at least he has the ability to get himself into those goal scoring positions.
Yeah, 2 seasons ago was Tivoli's leading goal scorer, Andre Moulton. Let's see if he could top up for his new club tonight and keep their home record this season at 100%.
Yeah, his conversion rate needs to improve. This Orlando Brown dance is quick as we see Nicholas Hamilton being taken out by Cavalier. And we remarked that Nicholas Hamilton is not at his fittest, carrying a few extra pounds. And next few weeks you'll see him, I'm sure he'll be leaner. And I mean, wasted the best chance of the game, for sure.
Yes, he did. On the far post from the cross that came in from the right. Ajay Chin is the one that replaces him. Ajay Chin, a 20-year-old former Manchester High School Da Costa Cup standout. Now in the top flight and in the Cavalier white. In the number 17 shirt. Moulton. Wayward attempt there by the substitute.
I don't mind the idea though, trying to dig that one out from beneath his feet as we see confirmation of the change, the youngster Chin coming in.
Yeah. Saw him in a Da Costa Cup fixture for Manchester High a couple of seasons ago at Juicy Park. Player who loves to dribble and take on defenders. Let's see how he acquits himself here with 13 minutes remaining in the game. Moulton does well. Howell has Thomas wide, but cuts inside Howell. Knocked off the ball by Purcell. Cavalier in transition where they're dangerous. Here comes Chin, the substitute. Still Chin. Oh, his cross is dangerous. And Finlayson, I think, gets the ball away.
That was a good cross. But I think Marshall had run just beyond it. Plays the pass, originally Alex Marshall, and then runs to the 6-yard box trying to get in on the end of this cross. Actually, it was in front of Chevron Meshi Marshall, not Marshall.
Yeah. Good work there by the youngster. So his first touch on the ball in this fixture, a positive one. Irving. Rankin. DePaz has room and options. Thomas can't get the ball away because Marshall is putting pressure on.
I've been impressed by Cavalier this evening, I must tell you. Even though they've failed to score.
So just over 10 minutes to full time, plus time to be added on for stoppages. And at the moment, Waterhouse are in danger of losing their 100% home record here at Drewsland this season.
If you knew nothing of the tablelands and came into this ground tonight just to watch this game, you'd think the team in white was the pace setters in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's for sure. Sometimes teams don't respond well to having a streak broken, and the 3-1 loss to Mount Pleasant last week for this Waterhouse team may be playing on their minds. Colorado Murray under pressure. Oh, sends a ball forward here to Simpson. Oh, right across the box, and DePaz gets the ball behind for a corner.
What an intervention from DePaz. That was brilliant play from Waterhouse's front men, Moulton and Murray. The ball fired in from Denise to Simpson. Look at this cross. On the money, Rafiq Thomas was in the motion of tapping it in. But DePaz said, no, 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 not tonight, not right now, not on my watch. With the defensive clearance.
He could have easily turned it into his own goal, but it was over the top.
Oh, that was expertly done, Mutika. That was he intended all along to just lift that gently over the bar. I'm sure he'll tell you.
Cavalier defending. Moulton. Keith Simpson with a strike.
The play was called back because of a handball on Andre Moulton. Wow. So the Cavalier players actually stood while Simpson drew that shot.
So some excitement here in the last 10 minutes.
This is the handball. Yeah.
Yeah, on Moulton. Whistle. Referee O'Shea Nation just holds the play up to allow the substitution to be made. Keith Simpson, the Waterhouse captain, being replaced here. He's had a tough night and looks to be struggling with an injury as well. Binns is on in his place and immediately gets into the action.
Binns would start at most clubs in this RSPL.
For sure. Previously played at Humberland and Portmore. Was in fact a part of the championship winning Portmore team in 2012. Damien Binns.
Moulton down on his haunches, looks to be struggling with a little groin tweak, but he's back up. Wearing the number 9 shirt, Lance, vacated by Andre McFarlane, it would seem, whose touch was Berbatov-esque.
Yes.
His ball control and his close skills, tremendous.
Played excellently with his, or plays excellently with his back to the goal as well. Just knew how to hold the ball up and set players up, but then he had so many tricks in his boots that defenders still have to be careful. He would turn them and strike at goal. Rafiq Thomas challenges Ming. Binns does well with the cross.
Must be a corner. Yes, it is.
So outmaneuvered for most of the night, this Waterhouse team, finding themselves here in deep stretch with an opportunity for a late winner. Purcell. Marsh. Chin.
Excellent foul by Moulton, because the break was on, make no mistake, and just allows his defenders to get back into position. Kids at home, that's how you foul. That's a tactical foul.
Wow. Marshall would have wanted to do better there, and I think Marsh is upset that he didn't find him.
Yeah.
I thought though Marsh may have been in an offside position though.
Hardly see quarreling between those two, but the captain just reminding Marshall that, yeah, keep the play going.
Moulton under pressure, fouled by Chin.
I did tell you in the first half, suggest to you, Lance, that I think Waterhouse would have finished the game the stronger of the two teams because of their better conditioning, and so it is proving.
Yeah. Just over 5 minutes on the clock, plus time to be added on for stoppages. Will this be a 0-0 stalemate, or will some drama provide a winner on the night? Finlayson Moulton. Missing Simpson. Irving gets in the way. Moulton under some pressure. Finlayson and Loic affording him the outlet pass. Rafiq Thomas turns well, the 35-year-old. Tremaine Stewart knocked over by Young Chin. Looks at the referee for a call, doesn't get any sympathy. And now the referee intervenes. Well, the world sprint champion enjoyed that passage of play.
Oh yes, she did. Leonard Ranking chopping down. Was it Vince? It was Simpson.
Murray trying to get close, but Mark Brand is alert.
Well, although he came on at a point where the game has obviously become stretched, Rafiq Thomas has really sparked this Waterhouse attack into life, I would suggest.
Yeah. Denisa Simpson wins a free kick here for Waterhouse. Moulton with a throw for Waterhouse. Moulton with a return play from Colorado Murray and wins the corner kick here. So Waterhouse in the home stretch trying to find a decisive strike.
Finishing stronger. Look, 10 minutes ago, Lance, Cavalier were keeping 3 men up front with a Waterhouse corner. Now, there's no Cavalier man up front. Everybody's back in the box defending. They're hunkering down.
Good corner. Not a good strike there by Tremaine Stewart. Pretty much the entire Cavalier team behind the ball. Defending with diligence, this Cavalier team. Brand does well in goal. Binns powerful in the air. Space here for Cavalier. And Marshall. Chin. Kamoy Simpson. Kyle Ming goes wide to the pass. Marshall does well. Marsh does well. Protects the ball. Delightful ball through here to Chin. Offside.
Yeah. I wondered how he was so free. He stole a few yards on the Nielsen Simpson.
Close call. Very close call.
I think it's closer than you think because of the angle that we're seeing it. I think the assistant got it dead right though.
It's been a bruising night. And at the moment, there may be no winner. Damien Binns. Colorado Murray doesn't have the legs to get there.
Yeah, just a little bit too much on the pass from Tremaine Stewart. The idea was right, and the run was on. Let's see how much time our friend, the fourth official, will add.
Cavalier have lost 3 of their 4 road matches so far this year. They're not about to make this 4. Word is that we're going to get 3 minutes added on for stoppages. There won't be enough time here to break the deadlock for either team. Ming's clearances Big and strong. Binns. Moulton. Stewart. Oh, delightful pass to Nielsen. The Nielsen Simpson, but his touch lets him down. And the Cavalier defenders. Well, now here comes Binns. And Waterhouse on the attack. Rafiq Thomas. Appeared to have a few options there, but appeared undecided.
Yeah, the pass was intended for Binns. Murray was in an offside position, who eventually chased the ball. Bit of nothing. The pass is down with an injury for Cavalier.
Binns. Rafiq Thomas. Under pressure, being crowded now by 3 Cavalier men. Can't get by them. And an opportunity now for the referee to pay some attention for the fallen Raheem DePaz. He's had a very busy night tonight, DePaz.
A goal-saving tackle. Or goal-saving interception, beg your pardon. But guess what? Nicholas Hamilton's effort on goal, the ball came to him, but he didn't finish. We're not sure if Thomas would have finished, but he certainly looked as if he would have. But the good thing for the pass is that he didn't let it get to that. He cleared when the striker was on the verge of tapping in. Cavalier will be forced into a change here because it looks as if the pass won't be able to continue.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't want to take a chance at this stage. Yes, there are just a couple of minutes remaining, but you wouldn't want to, having worked so hard.
This is the goal-clearing interception from the pass.
Yeah. I think Thomas was right there to pounce. And Thomas rules the opportunity missed. But sharp work there by DePaz, who has to take credit for knocking the opportunity away, the Waterhouse opportunity. So we're less than 30 seconds of time added on remaining. Maybe a little more to be added on because of this stoppage. And DePaz has been replaced. Dawes goes wide to Howell. Orlando Brown putting the chase on. Binns. Under pressure, but holds the ball up well. Binns, good work here from Binns. And what a vital tackle there, or interception from Kyle Ming. Corner though, won by Waterhouse. And this could be the final play of the match. Cavalier have one more defensive duty, we think. Waterhouse men filling the box up. Colorado, Murray goes for the header. Referee Nation sprints in as Brand goes down hurt.
Yeah, clear foul on the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Murray just colliding with goalkeeper Brand, knocking him over. So just seconds now remaining, we think, from referee O'Shane Nation. They've played a minute and a half over the 3 minutes added on. And there's Nation's final whistle. A 0-0 scoreline between Cavalier and Waterhouse. Only once in their last 11 meetings we've seen a scoreless draw between these two teams. It happened at the Waterhouse ground here back in January of last year. But for the most part, there are goals between these two teams. Tonight, though. No goals. Waterhouse, though, edging further ahead atop the Premier League standings. And they've moved up now to 19 points, just one ahead of the Molynes team. And we'll be back with a recap on the post-match show after this.
Mr. One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing and tento. Red stripe, watch out, watch out, watch out. Man shall I let forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boys go. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run him all again boy. The Red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah, yo.
So full-time score, 0-0 between Waterhouse and Cavalier, and the first meeting between these two teams who battled in the semi-final playoffs last year ends in a stalemate. Cavalier had a lot of the early play here. There's Marshall with a cross inside, gets the rebound. Hamilton tries to set himself up for a shot here, but Ricardo Thomas gets in the way, just throws himself into the path of that play. Marsh to Hamilton, goes wide to Irving with a strike. Hakeem Chambers unable to hold on to it well in goal for Waterhouse, and his defenders get close and make the clearance for him. Ricardo Thomas, center to Tremaine Stewart, leading scorer for Waterhouse last year with 12 goals. Yet to score this season and is off target there. Hakeem Chambers badly misjudges this ball across his goal area. Fortunately for him, Ricardo Thomas, his left foot back, is right there. Marsh with a left-footed drive at goal. Ball still alive here for Cavalier, but the Waterhouse defenders scramble the ball away. There goes Orlando Brown with a cross inside to Nicholas Hamilton, who fails to turn the ball in on the far post. Chambers gets a hand to it, but that ball wasn't going into the goal anyway. Marshall twisting and turning into the box, but loses his balance. And Cavalier having a lot of threatening moves throughout this game. Waterhouse defenders having to work overtime tonight. A few moments for Waterhouse late on. Simpson does well with the cross inside there, but Raheem DePaz gets in the way and robs Rafiq Thomas of an opportunity to score. Best moment of the match for Waterhouse, as was Nicholas Hamilton's opportunity, the best chance for Cavalier. Even possession for both teams. 13 shots attempted on goal by Cavalier, 9 of them on target, and 5 attempts by Waterhouse. 6 corners forced by Cavalier, only 5 by the Waterhouse team. But a tight game, a grueling game for both teams. Waterhouse protecting their lead atop the standings, Cavalier failing to gain on them. Raheem DePaz, the man of the match, is with George Davis.
Thank you very much, Lance. So Raheem DePaz is with me. Raheem, this trophy is yours. It was a hard-fought game.
Yes, sir, it was, honestly.
All right, well, congratulations on your individual display, and let's hope that Cavalier can get 3 points the next time they turn out in the RSPL.
Okay, thanks much.
Raheem DePaz there, the MVP for the game. Of course, the Cavaliers centre half. Rudolph Speed walks into the shot with me. Coach, your impressions of the game?
Well, I still think we're the best transition to attack team in Jamaica. We're just not the best finishing team.
We thought that Nicholas Hamilton didn't look as sharp as usual, but we understand he's still working himself back to full fitness, as other members of the team are. Your impressions of his performance?
Oh, definitely. I mean, normally he would have given us the winning goal here. He missed a couple, but you know, he had a bad injury, and as I say, working back his way. We're not so sharp on the box. It's something we have to work on.
Better luck next time.
Thank you.
Rudolph Speed, the coach of the Cavalier team, settling for a point here against the Waterhouse team that, for sections of the game, didn't look their usual razor-sharp self, but they finished the game stronger, given, of course, that they are fitter than this Cavalier team. Damian Gordon walks back into the shot with me. Damian, your impressions of the game?
It's disappointing. The opponent came and they sit very deep behind the bar, so it was a little bit difficult for us. Majority of the game, we got a little looking at the latter part of the game, but we just never get to score.
Your defense held firm for you, but up front, you'd think that your offensive players didn't give you enough tonight?
Not enough tonight, and we're looking a little bit more from them going forward. But my God, back line tonight was very sturdy, and we really appreciate that.
All right, congratulations, Damien. Well, good luck next time.
Which is the usual thing. Thank you, sir.
There you go. All right, so I was reverting to type there, congratulating you, but you can't congratulate a team for taking a point here at home. All right, NBA comes up on Sportsmax. We have a doubleheader. The Heat against the Hawks, that's Thursday, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. ECT. That's live on Sportsmax. And then the Nuggets and the Mavericks lock horns, Thursday, 8:30 p.m., 9:30 p.m. ECT, also on Sportsmax, a live game. And what about the UEFA Champions League? Real Madrid at home at the Santiago Bernabeu. The Turkish team, Galatasaray, come calling. That's November 6, 2:45 p.m., 3:45 p.m. in the Eastern Caribbean. That's live on Sportsmax 2. All right, we send you away from Waterhouse. We return, the Sportsmax did, broadcasting the Red Stripe Premier League from you. And we came, Shelley and Fraser Price, the world 100-meter sprint champion, also came. So too did Cavalier. They left with a point. A very tough game, keenly fought contest, but ultimately no goals to show for the toil of these boys.
Red Stripe, Premier League. I miss one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red Stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing and ten. Red Stripe, watcha. Man shall I make a forward boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run the marathon boy. Them wish I never made it that the champion boy. Now man I don't a songsters boy.